Hi guys, back Paul here. Hope you're all safe and well. Just a short little video then, just to talk about today some quad lock kit that I've bought for my bike. So this is to mount my smartphone to the bike. I'm sure you've seen probably videos on YouTube. It's a fairly popular product or range of products, but I just want to give you my thoughts and just first impressions really. I've not installed this or taken it out on the bike, so I will be doing a future video. I've got a video planned for my channel where I'm going to be talking about the first 600 miles on my bike because it's had its first service, which is my Triumph Street Triple RS, and I'll probably in that video test out this quad lock kit and have a chat about it during that video. But for now I just want to give you my kind of first impressions and do a little bit of an unboxing and overall thoughts on these really. So this kit is to replace my previous phone holder. So I had this one which I bought from Amazon and I've had it a couple of years ago. It's what's called a True Active phone holder. It's fairly cheap and to be fair it was working pretty well until recently. They're still available on Amazon and I think this particular one is around about £19. I've actually got a video on my channel from a couple of years back where I run through my sat-nav setup and we take a look at this. But basically it's fairly simple. It's just a little circular grip around the bar. There is like a nut that you can't see here that just twists onto there to secure it. And then how this one works is it's just basically spring loaded. So you've got these springs here, you press this button in here, move these springs in and out, and then they lock in place once you kind of release the button, and then you just press that to release it. So it's more universal really for any phone, this one. And then once you've got those securing the phone, you can loop over these elastic kind of bands here just as an extra kind of measure to keep your phone in place, and it's on almost like a ball joint at the back. Now there's a couple of reasons really why I wanted to upgrade from this. Is one reason, and the main reason specifically, is recently I've noticed these springs have started to become loose during riding. So as I'm riding the bike, more on long journeys, they kind of become almost looser. I think it's a vibration of the bike or maybe the tension on them, to the point where the phone is almost wobbling around on this holder. And then you're just relying on these, which, like I said, loop over the top to hold your phone in place. So it's not brilliant. And yeah, secondly, they also get in the way a lot. So these areas, you can see they're quite large. When you've got your phone in place here, you have to be careful to avoid the volume buttons on the side of the phone and the power button. And then when you're looping these over the top of the phone, they get in the way of the display, so they can obscure, like areas of your sat nav that might show you like your next turning and so on. And it's a bit of a faff every time you're wanting to go out on your bike. You have to, like I said, position it right so that it's not pressing any buttons, that the bands aren't in the way and so on. So yeah, a couple of reasons why I'm replacing it. But if you are on a budget, like I said, this is on Amazon still. It's just under £19. You can't really go wrong just for a cheap phone holder, but just be aware and be careful that it is a little bit, or it can become unsecure. So, but again, if you're just wanting something cheap and cheerful, that was pretty good. So we'll go over the quad lock kit now. So they do a range of items. I've bought a few products here. You don't necessarily need all this to get started, so we'll go through it. So this is the handlebar mount. They do a couple of different mounting options. So they do one for your mirror or your mirrors, which is like works on the mirror stalk. One that works on the, I think it's called stem mount, which is where your top yoke is. You can fill like the hole where the stem is on the top yoke. There's an option there. And then you've got this handlebar mount. I went for this more kind of traditional handlebar mount just because I thought it'll give me more options in terms of placement. It does come with different size kind of rubber spacers, so you can adapt it depending on the width of your handlebars. But I think they're fairly universal, to be honest. So that's the main point there, where your phone holder will click into place, and that's what makes this quite secure. And then secondly, I've got my case. So you have to order the case for your specific phone. So they sell a wide range of cases. I've got a Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus, so I bought the case that will fit the mount. It has this cutout here that you can see, and basically it just literally locks in place. You turn it and it's a really solid kind of lock. I have opened this kit and had a little look at it and had a go with it before, trying to mount it on the bike, and you can tell it's really secure. So it should be though, because it's quite a lot more in price, but we'll go through that in a minute. So they're kind of the two main items that you need. These other couple of little bits, what I bought, you don't necessarily need. So the first one is what's called a vibration dampener. And this is to basically reduce the effects of the vibrations from the bike on the camera on your smartphone, because some people have said over time the constant vibrations from the bike can affect the camera on your phone. I can't say I've really noticed it using my cheap phone holder, but I thought if I'm going to buy this kit all at once, then I might as well go the whole hog and get this as well. Quad Lock do list bikes on their website which they say are really affected by, or mostly affected by, the vibrations. I guess it's more going to be like your bigger bikes like Harleys and Cruisers that kind of have vibrations more due to the engine type. They do list as Triumph Speed Triple, not my Triumph Street Triple, but they kind of advise that, it's probably worth looking at getting the vibration dampener in any case. So that's why I went for it, because I thought if I'm going to get the kit, I might as well get that at the same time. And then this is really just like a vanity piece. So you get this kind of blue release lever on the standard mount. I just wanted a red one because a lot of the graphics and the styling on the Street RS, it has a lot of like red stripes and red, lettering and graphics and so on. So I thought it'd go better with the bike. But again, you don't really need that. Now the price for the whole lot was just over £78, so it's pretty expensive, and that's including a 10% off code as well. So if you sign up or you go on the Quad Lock website, you sign up to the email mailing list, and then you get a 10% off code. So I'm pretty certain obviously everybody's going to do that, but it was £78 with that 10% off code. Now the two items that you really need, so the mount and the phone case, they came to just over £62. I think it was £62.90. So that gives you an idea of what you're looking at. For me though, it's more of an investment because I've got my contract on my phone is running up until December next year, I believe, so December 2022. So really I'm going to get quite a lot of use out of this. And also, if I do change my phone, then you can simply buy a new phone case, and you can keep obviously all the other kit. Just buy a new case and you can still mount it to the handlebar mount. They do also other options if you've got an office at work, or you're working from home and you've got a desk. You can buy a little desk mount for your phone and just keep that case and then lock it onto your desk mount for your phone. And same also if you're doing, going jogging, they do one that you can strap to your arm and you just use the same phone case. So it's quite a modular system. And what I would say as well is, as with all my videos, I'm not sponsored by Quad Lock. I've not been sent any of this kit or anything. I've just paid for it out of my own pocket. So hopefully I'll be able to, be as honest as I can with you, because, I don't get any kit for free on my videos or sponsored or anything like that. So it's just my own personal opinion. So we'll go through the items that you get in the unboxing, have a look at that, and we'll probably not do a fitting video on the bike because it's going to be that easy to fit. I don't think there's really any point in taking the time to go through that, but we'll show you what's included. I'll show it mounted on the bike, and then, like I said, we'll follow up with a video in future, just hopefully giving you more of a review. Okay, so here's what you get in the box. Really straightforward to fit, or it seems that way from the instructions. So you get these instructions with the mounting part, and there are a couple of different ways you can do this. So it refers to basically you can just mount the actual bracket here, so the circular bracket, and then the lever directly onto the handlebar, or there is a mounting arm as well which you get in the kit, and the mounting arm just extends it a little bit further away from the handlebar. I think I'll use the mounting arm because it just gives you a little bit more leeway in terms of getting a good position on this, but we'll see how we get along. And then, as you can see at the top, it mentions the different spaces that you get for depending on the size of the handlebar, the widths of the handlebars. And then this is basically just how to mount the phone, really straightforward stuff. But if we have a look here, so this is the, I guess, main part of the mechanism or the way it works. So you just get this little plastic lever here, it just says push, so that's when you need to release it. The phone case locks into place on that, and this is just a little kind of screw or bolt in the top. You use this Allen key here, so just to secure that onto this basically. So you've got this piece here, and like it mentioned in the instructions, you can take this top part off here if you wish and just have that bolted straight onto the circular section, but if you use this mounting arm, then you get a little bit more, like I say, in terms of options of how to place it. It extends it out a little bit as well. So yep, you've got that there. Again, it's really simple, so just an Allen key to open that up. So it's just there, if you can see it there. So you just put that around your handlebar. You've got the different spaces here depending on the width of the bars to get the right fit, and then just a case of putting that on top. Now obviously, as I mentioned, I've got the vibration dampener as well that I ordered, and you can see that here. Really looks straightforward. Again, it's just one Allen key, one screw or bolt, again just to get that in place, and I'll have to check it out, but I'm pretty certain that'll just go on top of that and in between the little lever part. So yeah, again, dead easy. This is the case itself, so nothing too dissimilar to a normal phone case really. Obviously, other than this cutout, it's not very heavy. It feels fairly light. It probably adds a little bit of weight on. This is kind of like a felt effect on the inside. I guess it's just to give a bit of protection to the finish on your phone. You've got all the normal cutouts, like I said, volume, power on and everything else, obviously for the camera, and then it's just this bit really. So this is a bit that locks into the mechanism on the mount. So yeah, once it's in there, it locks nice and firmly. I did give this a try. Like I say, I've already kind of unboxed this to have a look at it, and it's a lot more secure than you'd think. It's not just a slight click it, you can really feel it like engaging, and it's absolutely solid once it's in place. Again, it'll make more sense, you know, once it's on the bike. So we'll have a little look at it in place on the bike. Here it is then, fitted onto the bike. So in the end, I didn't bother with this kind of long extension mounting arm, just because it seemed to raise it really high up or position it too far above the bars, and it was just, you know, really sticking up and out of the way. It'll really depend this on the bike that you've got, the style of bike, and the arrangement, you know, in terms of where the yoke is and the levers and everything else. Every bike is going to be different, and it's really easy to fit, but it still took me a while just because I was trying to get the, I guess, perfect placement for it. So in the end, I opted just for the main bracket that you get. So that's the one that's circular that goes around the bars, the vibration dampener, and then just this, obviously, the top part, the mechanism, and I replaced that blue tab with the red one. I was looking at placing it at this end, so near the brake lever, and I did try out a few of the different rubber spacers that you get included in the kit, and in the end, this is pretty much the standard spacer that I've used, but I've gone and placed it near the ignition just because when it was at this end, it looked a bit too far out of the way, so it was out of my sight line. So if I'm using it as a sat nav, I was almost having to look to that side rather than, you know, actually straight forward. And my phone is quite large, so I'm going to put some images up in a moment showing it fitted my phone onto the mount, and you might think, well, that looks huge, but the phone itself is fairly big because with it being the Plus model, so it's the S20 Plus model, it does make it a little bit bigger than, you know, a standard phone. It doesn't actually look out of place when you're on the bike. I think the photos make it look a bit bigger than it is. It is in, you know, proportion to everything else, and I think I've got a good placement here. You can position it vertically or horizontally depending on how you want it. Personally, I think I'll probably have it in horizontal position. That's how I used to have it on my MT-09, and I think that'll be the best option. But yeah, really simple to fit in terms of it's basically just to save us a little bolts or screws, however you want to call them, and an Allen key. The only tool that you need is the one that they give you, which is the Allen key, and you just put one little bolt in there, tighten it with the Allen key, fit the vibration dampener on top of that. Again, that's just one more bolt, and then a final third one on this that connects to the vibration dampener. And the main difficulty with this, I guess, is just making certain that you've got it placed so it's not in the way of any kind of cables. So I've kind of positioned it as carefully as I could so it's not in the way of any cables like that. It's well out of the way of all these brake cables and everything else. And obviously you want to be able to turn the bars full lock side to side without it catching on anything, and basically so that you've got a good position in terms of being able to see your phone if you're using it as a sat nav. And that's where it gets a little bit difficult, because there are several combinations that you can do with this. So you can either have it without the vibration dampener, put that on, have the mounting extension arm, or leave that off. So it definitely takes a lot of trial and error and a lot of kind of moving it and putting it in one place and then trying it in another. And I think really the only way you can figure it out is just to kind of tighten it up hand tight, fairly loose, put the phone on the lock, and then just position your phone before you tighten everything up, and just keep trying it like that. But yeah, I'm not certain, maybe the stem mount one may have been easier, but I think this one might give you a few more range of options in terms of where you place it, because obviously with that, once it's in there, that's the only place you can put it. With this one you can move it around a little bit. So but it'd be interesting to see your thoughts if you've got a quad lock and you've got a street triple like this, how you've installed it or where you've put it. And I guess my only kind of final thought on this, one possible slight negative is that it doesn't have what's called like a ball joint on this one. So my cheap phone holder before had a little ball pivot joint. So once it was in place, it kind of stuck up a little in the air, and you could move the actual phone and pivot it around, so kind of change the angle of it in different ways. Even once you kind of screwed it all really nice and tight, you were able to position a little bit easier than this, because there is no kind of pivoting point on it. So once you've kind of got your position, you are more or less locked in place pretty much. There's a little bit of leeway, but not much. You kind of decide on your placement, tighten it all up, and then you're done. But the main positive on this is that it's a lot more secure than the cheaper one that I used to have. If you can see here, this kind of bolt, it goes into a recess and it doesn't come out the other side, so there's no nut to tighten up. And on my cheaper one, and I think most of the others, there is a little nut. Obviously over time the bike can vibrate and those nuts can come loose, which if that comes loose, then obviously the entire holder comes apart. It'll just come off the bars. And I used to basically get a bit paranoid about the nut on the other one and just be regularly tightening it. Obviously you don't want your phone flying down the road that's a £500,000 phone or whatever. So that's really good, because it's really, once you've tightened that up, it's dead secure. It's absolutely solid as a rock. Same with the vibration dampener, everything's really solid. And this top part, you can really tell that once it's connected and in place, I can't imagine it'd take a lot of force to get that off there, put it that way. So obviously providing you get the placement right and you're tightening it and everything, then it really does seem solid. But we'll take it out for a spin, and that'll probably be my next video. I'll do the 600 mile review on the bike, just my thoughts so far after the first 600 miles on the service, and we'll see this in action. But thanks again for watching. Subscribe to my channel for that video coming soon, and for any more videos. If you've got any comments, ask away. And as always, like I said, thanks again for watching, and stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Okay guys, cheers.